Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 9 of my no quick saves, no knockouts, no time like the present, Thief Gold Iron Pacifist challenge run. This mission I've been excited about for a while. This is the Lost City. It's probably the most changed mission out of any of the original missions from Thief the Dark Project to Thief Gold. I would say this is the one that they modified the most. And given those changes, I think I've mentioned this before, I believe there is a mod that allows you to play the mission in its original form, because it feels less like a lost city if there were other people down there, right? You know, it kind of ruins the vibe that I think they were going for initially. They just wanted to put mages in another mission, I guess. But anyway, enough chatting. Let's just hop into it, shall we?
The Keepers have hidden the Talisman of Fire in a place they call the Lost City. Some kind of cataclysm buried the place underground ages ago. The Keepers have sealed the access to the city, a cleft in the river bottom near the east side. If the materials in the library are right, the strange stone I found can be used to open that seal. I've also got a map. It's so old the edges crumble in my hands. It shows the city, or at least how it was back then. I hope the old place hasn't changed much.
Okay, so our objectives on Expert for this mission are get into the Lost City, find some treasure in it. Let's see. Oh yeah, there are Keeper corpses. Doesn't take much imagination to figure out what may have happened to them. So we're recovering their medallions, and then we got to grab that Talisman of Fire. That's kind of our overall objective, is to get the 4 talismans. If you recall, we found the haunted cathedral, and it was locked with a seal that required us to get these talismans. And then once we do all that, we got to get out of there. Business as usual. So here's this key that we found in the haunted cathedral mission, in that sort of keeper hideout place where we learned the locations of all of the talismans. Let's see, what do I buy in this one? Well, we'll get the papyrus just because I like to do it, just for the sake of showing you what's written on it. We'll get 2 flash bombs because I might screw up when it comes to dealing with the mages, and there's one area with some inconsistent AI, so I may actually need to utilize them. And then get another rope arrow. I'm not going to need a ton of these, I don't think, because there aren't exactly torches to put out, or at least not many of them. Hell, I'll get 2 more. Gas arrows are very fun, but they knock out enemies, and they do exactly 1 damage, which is just enough to make them invalid. At least when it comes to the pacifist stuff. It's probably not great to breathe, whether it does damage or not. And it knocks them out, which, I just don't like doing on principle. That should be enough. Let's just blow the rest on water arrows and get into it. So we start off in the city streets, because we have to find the entrance to the Lost City. And it's kind of funny, they're not fooling anybody. There's not a lot of city to explore here. This is a big map, and most of this mission takes place below ground. But they didn't try very hard to really sell the fact that we are in a city. We're confined to a very small space, is what I'm trying to say. Although it sort of looks like the area that we navigated through in Assassins. That's certainly what it's supposed to be mimicking. But anyway, enough about that. Let's work our way into the Lost City using this key that we found. We can bypass this mechanism that, I don't know, it doesn't look like a magical mechanism, but it also doesn't have anything pushing or pulling it. Best not to think too hard about it. Strange, though. So kind of a funny coincidence that underneath our city, there is another city that was sort of left behind by an ancient civilization. Yeah, I gotta swim up here. Can't forget that. Gotta get my oxygen back. There are a lot of coincidences like that, I feel. I guess you can suspend your disbelief, but it points to a greater issue. I guess you could call it an issue in this series, which is that everything of import kind of happens in the city, which is what the city is called in this game. It doesn't have a proper name. The city where Garrett lives and everything happens is called the city. And I think the game's narrative is not really interested in telling a story beyond what happens in the city. So you have all this supernatural nonsense happening in the city that also has a complex political system with rivaling factions. It's a bit silly, but I don't know. I do think they execute it well for what it is, but nothing pertinent to the story happens beyond the city. You can make these spiders jump into the water, and I'm sure you can stealth this mission if you're really good. Though if you're using quick saves, enough attrition will probably get you there. I'm sure if you watch Clatrymus, who is probably the most prominent Supreme Ghoster, you'll see, I'm sure he is stealth that section.
How can the keepers keep this place a secret?
Anyway, creatures like spiders and burricks and zombies definitely can sneak past them. Oh, this is cool. There are lamps here that function the way that torches do in other missions. They can be very inconvenient because they're proximity based. Anyway, what was I saying? Spiders are, they were designed with stealth in mind. They have the same states of alertness that human enemies do. But in some cases, the level geometry and their placement makes it difficult to stealth it properly. But for the most part, the stealth works, although the level design can be kind of strange and make that complicated. Which is a shame, because the hazardous environment kind of adds to the challenge and sort of balances those monsters compared to their human counterparts. Nice. Okay, no damage in that bit. There's not that much risk of fall damage, but, And I think that section 2 reflects poorly on this game as a whole, because I think what a lot of people feel about these missions that don't take place in, current human settlements that are populated by people is that people say they're combat-centric. And I don't think that's true, because, right now I'm stealthing around this burrick, right? When the level layout is, makes sense, then the stealth works just fine. And for the most part, yeah, I think, I was able to stealth through Haunted Cathedral, which is a mission that a lot of people consider to be pretty much pure combat and zombie killing, and we didn't have to kill a single zombie to get through that. But little situations like that, where it's kind of the placement of enemies is not designed to be snuck past, kind of poison the well for a lot of people, I think. Anyway, this is a keeper journal, and you can tell it's a keeper journal because it has a keyhole on it, which is the icon of the keepers. And it says, "Despite hardships, I have welcomed this opportunity to study the city of the precursors. Their society was remarkable, stratified like the bedrock. I love that bit there. And seemingly as stable. Above all was the emperor, a divine figure, answerable to none but their gods. Emperors were seldom seen by the common people, and this distance gave rise to a powerful and politically charged bureaucracy. So it seems as though, even though the civilization is comparatively primitive, primitive to the one that we have above ground now, they still had a hierarchical structure, which is kind of, if history is to show us anything, a hierarchy is kind of necessary for human civilization to function. Though, I wouldn't call myself a history buff. You can, in the comments, tell me how wrong I am about that. This area seems to be a residential district. I don't think I've mentioned this. Here is the map. It was brought up in the mission briefing. The first area, which, right now we're here, it's lit up on the map, which I have mixed feelings about. But we entered here, and the icon above that building is a scroll, which I think suggests that this is a library. And this here, I think, is a residential area. But on this map, it's, a map from back when this civilization was thriving. And this is all we have to work with, are, these hieroglyphs and the general layout. Though this map does still respect compass directions, I think it would have been fun if all you could use to discern where you are relative positions of buildings, and the obelisks that have symbols on them that denote where on the map you are. I didn't get a good look at it, but I'll show you a later one. There was an obelisk outside the library that had a scroll symbol on it, so you could cross-reference. And I think it would be cool if north was not over here, but maybe over here or something, and you have to sort of figure out how to use your compass down here. But I still, on principle or in concept, really do like this map because it gives you much less than most maps do in games. Anyway, looting these long abandoned buildings because no one else is coming for it, so why shouldn't I win? If it's me getting it or nobody getting it, why not just take it for myself? Yeah, this area seems very residential. Gotta drop in here. This is a bit risky, but didn't trigger an alert. A lot of bones in here. It's strange. I guess a lot of people died in their homes. I suppose that wouldn't be too uncommon. I doubt there was... Well, I don't know if there was a hospital, but I'm sure there was a place that the sick and the dying could go. But maybe people just like to go in their own homes, or... I don't know. It's just something that the game can do to kind of suggest that that there was once life in that building. Now here's an interesting enemy that's going to be coming up. Fire orbs. Yeah, these are kind of a weirdo enemy, and I don't love their presence in this mission, because while they do, abide by the same rules as, say, a human enemy or a creature enemy, they can see and they can hear, they only really have one alerted or suspicious sound that they can make. It's just kind of like a nondescript fire noise. I'm going to use this as a noisemaker. Yeah, that noise there. So now they are looking in that direction. The direction that they are moving shows us where they are looking. But I don't know. I don't love how... Oh, you see me, don't you? Yeah, you totally see me. Yeah, you do. Okay, time to make tracks. Anyway, it's a fine idea for an enemy, but poorly executed, I think. Because there's no indication that they can see or hear until it's too late. Gotta be careful. There's a papyrus I want to get. And then I'm out. Where am I going? Ah, yes. Well, there's one thing that I want to see first. I think I can get there this way. Yeah, I think I can. You can get this line of dialogue earlier, but it involves a lot of it was in that spider area, and I would have had to circumvent a lot of spiders, and you can get it here just the same.
So, this is the lost city. It's not lost no more.
I like that line. This game's got a lot of personality. It's funny, though, how Garrett has a very modern way of speaking, and, you know, the Hammerites and just about everyone else speaks in a very sort of Old English, well, not Old English, but like Middle Ages type dialect. But it's fine. It's fun. He's got attitude. Now this, here, I'll look at the obelisk here, it's this one on the map, and this is sort of the entrance way to that. Lots of gems on the wall. My first playthrough, I didn't know that you could pick these up, and it's a lot of loot. So, good to know. And I think on Expert it's required because the objectives say you need 500 loot of gems. And I think you can't get that without nabbing those. Ah, so this is a theater of sorts. We even have those drama masks. I don't know what else to call them, but when I think of the word drama, that's what my brain conjures up. There's one more thing here that I want to get. Ah, here it is. So, don't love this. The parchments and papyruses found down in the Lost City, not only are they completely intact in the ruins, but they're also written in English. At least I assume so, unless Garrett understands the language of the precursors, though I find that very unlikely. I think some of this, the lore of the city could have been conveyed environmentally, although there would have been a layer of abstraction there that might have limited the narrative potential of that. But this is what we got, so I'll just read it to you as it is. To honor the life memory of our departed father and king, Va-Tarak, son of the sky, the Colosseum he built for his people will be closed for a year and a day. Let the gates be locked, and none make merry, while the sky and earth themselves do shake and cry for their departed brother. This I decree, Va-Toran, son of the sky. So I guess the emperors of the city both have the Va prefix, and Toran was the emperor to succeed Tarak. We also picked up a papyrus that I didn't read. Sangar, let me know if you ever come across any good antiquities in your explorations. I'd be particularly interested in any ritual headdresses and masks. The gold and enamel work from Cyric is increasingly rare, and I needn't point out that if you ever found something dating back to the precursors, I'd make you a rich man. So that's actually the papyrus that we bought in the briefing, well, in the item shop. And Bram Gervasius is a name that you may want to remember if you go on to play Thief 2 or watch me play Thief 2. And it's funny that he's interested in masks as well. I think perhaps, I'm not sure, this was added in Thief Gold when they kind of knew they had a good idea of where Thief 2 was going. And there was a papyrus, like I said, that we picked up in that building. Dear Mailu, the city is too grand for this unworthy country lass. I visited the Emperor's Colosseum. Such a spectacle. The Colosseum is bigger than our village. The cheer is deafening when they extend the bridge from below the royal balcony. Great doors open and the combatants enter the battlefield, a raised island in the middle of the arena. Hundreds of magical fires float on the surface of the water. I saw there a gladiator who wrestled with a pair of lions, and the Emperor's son himself tossed him a bag of gold. I will tell you more later, but Cherok calls. Naza. That was a lot of reading, I apologize, but lot to cover there. So I guess that was someone from out of town who was checking out this city when it was in its heyday. And they had a grand Colosseum. This is a civilization that understood the value of entertainment, and that morale is a great way to keep your people productive. I don't remember if there's anything over here. I guess not. Well, just gotta check. Just to know. Here we go, another scroll. I'll take it to a safer place, and maybe I'll read it later. We've done a lot of reading recently. Yeah, they have a theater, they have a Colosseum, which is, and the events described, like filling the Colosseum with water or having gladiators fighting lions was kind of just ripped directly from Rome, but if we're doing the ancient civilization thing, we can just kind of combine all the best elements of we could do a greatest hits collection of everybody's favorite ancient civilizations. Alright, now that we're safe, let's read that scroll, shall we? A speech given by Master Ruitan to the Guild of Enlightenment. The priests tell the ignorant that the earth is crying for her departed brother, Va Tarak. We know that these tremors signify something more ominous. Tarak would have listened to us and evacuated the city, but his son is less enlightened. The guild must protect what we can, by whatever magical and mundane means we possess. The tower must not fall. So I guess the story that Va Turan, the new emperor, was giving them is that the reason for some environmental cataclysm, maybe the shifting of tectonic plates or something, the reason for that is because the previous emperor died, and he was kind of trying to give them some reason why it may be happening, because if something's happening for a reason, then it can be stopped, at least in theory, right? But I guess the viziers, or the more knowledgeable elders that advise the emperor, they disagree and they see something different going on. Anyway, here's one of those obelisks I was telling you about. Well, I guess I already showed you the theater one, didn't I? But this one has, I guess, a carrier pigeon on it. And I don't know what that signifies. Well, I do know what it signifies, but if I was playing this for the first time, I wouldn't. Although maybe this one was stolen from ancient Egypt. Not sure. A lot of identical buildings here, but I don't think this is residential, because these are too small to be lived in, and they only have the one door and no windows. Now here we can see our first mage of this mission, who is doing a really good job of walking around that pile of detritus.
What have we here?
I have never alerted that guy in all of my years playing this game. Yeah, I think they make him they make him stupid so that you can sort of follow him and strafe around all of the detritus, but alas, we made too much noise in going there. I got cocky, is what happened. He'll give up eventually. Yeah, okay, back to business as usual, but I'll play this a bit safer. I'll play this like I'm actually, as I would with any other section of this game. So we drop in. Hello. He just turned on a dime. Maybe I could... I mean, we're off the books. This happens every episode. We are far off the books. I think I had full darkness for a second. Somewhere here. Well, we don't need it. Oh, goodness. Now we kind of just follow him. Parchment and a keeper diary. We've been careful to avoid the roaming elementals throughout our sojourn, but today we've taken a serious blow. From out of nowhere, a number of them assaulted the troop. We fended them off with our remaining supply of water crystals, but the price was heavy. Hodge was severely burned, and he may not live through the night. Both Giannis and Abner are dead. So I think the elementals they're referring to are the fire orbs, which I feel bad. I referred to a different enemy as a fire elemental earlier in this playthrough, but those are the elementals. And the only way to deal with them is with water arrows, which normally do not deal damage, but I've checked, and against the fire elementals, they do. This is kind of just a blind turn here, because there is a patrolling mage here. But it's fine. I didn't hear him, so I didn't think he'd see me, but, you know, they can see pretty far. And I had no impression of where he may be. But yeah, I checked. If you extinguish the fire elementals, it does count as you having dealt damage in the end stats briefing thing. Now this is the stuff I love about these missions, is how much of a hazard the environment is. I love that. It's some real Indiana Jones stuff. I think I mentioned Indiana Jones in the Bone Horde video too. Actually, I don't want to go down here yet. There's one thing I want to look at. Over in here. A sarcophagus. Ah. Just had some dust in it. But I think that we are in a tomb of sorts. Well, I know that we're in a tomb of sorts. But I think that's cool, and I guess this carrier pigeon is like a messenger between the living world and the afterlife. Now here's a funny little bit. There's a corpse here, and yeah, a trap that swings from the ceiling to sort of protect this zone. So the mages are really intent on keeping this tomb safe, which it is a place that seems to hold some significance. But what? I just put out a torch. That's not supposed to alert them. That's awfully silly. Let's see, are Are our friends down below patrolling now? They are. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I have flash bombs if I need them. I have 2. But I'd really like to not have to use them. I might just wait around for them to finish, but there is another piece of treasure I can get. It's just it's kind of challenging, and these guys might see me on the way in and out. No, I'm gonna do this first. I think they gave up. Here's another sarcophagus. Spoilers, there's nothing in there. They've been alerted. I really hope they can't see me.
Your corpse shall
That is, that ain't right. That's all I have to say about that. But if I need to...
I failed to find the intruder.
The eternal fire will reclaim you.
Yeah, now I've got the whole brigade looking for me.
Escape while you can. Wish
Maybe I can work with this.
Seek you out. The shadows will not shelter you forever. Do you see death in the darkness?
There's more treasure behind him, but I do not trust that anymore. Oh, let's have some fun. We are,
Leave us while you can.
as I said, we are off the books.
An intruder stalks our towers.
Ha, they think we're in the mage towers,
The shadows
because they're not supposed to be here.
Do you see death in the darkness?
Oh, now this place will be a cakewalk. I had a whole method lined up for how to get this lever. Okay, where do you go?
I warn you, do not take up arms against me. Do you see death in the darkness?
Really doing this a lot.
You may have returned to darkness, but time is on my side. Leave us while you can.
Well, that was tense. Man, it's a shame about... I'm not afraid of them. I have full darkness here. So here's what I will do.
The sound of voice will disturb the air. You out.
If I can get them to move...
darkness will not
The
protect you
shadows
for
reveal your
long.
cowardice, intruder. The shadows will not shelter
Join me
you
against
forever.
this outsider.
I spied the invader.
So that mage reported that he saw me.
That cannot be outrun.
The inevitable.
Our unwelcome guest revealed himself to me. I have eternity.
I really need to get in
Cannot
there.
run from your fate.
I have a ton of these, so I can just keep using them as noisemakers. Come on, dude.
Eternal fire will reclaim you.
Escape the inevitable.
You cannot escape the inevitable.
Got it. Oh. It is always keeping things interesting in this playthrough. And that's why I love it, because ordinarily I would have just, quick loaded in that situation, but I don't have to. I don't have to. It's perfectly playable. You just gotta be clever to get out of a pickle. Do I wait for this patrol? I don't hear him. I can always jump back if things don't work out. Yeah, I don't need these water arrows for much else other than putting out those torches, because I'm not extinguishing the elementals. Okay, are you coming back? That would be really cool if you are coming back. I'm sure you will eventually. Hear you over here. Yeah, okay. Duck around this corner. Sorry for all the waiting. I want to be careful. I feel like I say that every episode, but that's how we're playing it. Oh, got caught on the sconce there. It's kind of funny. Now this is very fun. A little risky, but there's treasure here and a gas arrow, which I will not be using, but boy are they fun to use. You can knock out a whole group of dudes if you've got them all in one place. Anyway, let's get a good look at this lever. We don't know what it does yet. Oh, and I think I also didn't mention this Keeper medallion, but that was one of the objectives, if you remember. But this lever, yeah, we don't know what it does. There is something later that you can find that points you to the tomb. It tells you to go to the tomb so you can get the lever to do a thing. But if you know, you can just come here first, and I'm not interested in going to the wrong place first. We also picked up a scroll, which I totally forgot to read, so let's do that. Let the tomb be dug deep into the earth, and filled with all manner of things which are pleasing to serve him in his nether days. Splendor shall follow our beloved monarch to mark his glory, and woe to those who would disturb his sleep. They shall be imperiled from below, and from above, and from that which is directly before their eyes. That feels a bit ancient Egypt-y, leaving possessions with them that they treasure. Although I don't think ancient Egyptians had a hell. I don't know if that was part of their mythology, though. I am criminally underinformed about mythology. I thought it was just either you ascend or you go nowhere, was my impression, but could be wrong. Yeah, that's all that reading material that we were reading earlier. Please don't come up here. That would be very inconvenient. Sometimes they patrol the place, as we've seen. Like, not just in that open area. I hear you, but I don't know where you are. Okay, you're just very loud. That's your thing. That's what you do. And now we're back in the theater. I mean, you've noticed, but I just neglected to mention that. Ah, great. Turned around at the last second, and I got hasty. Yeah, that's their attack, by the way. So they shoot little fireballs. But I don't think a fireball can chase me up here, so I'll be alright, I think. From there we can see into an area that we'll be in later. Well, that we'll be in shortly, actually. What's in there? Just fire arrows, I believe. I really like that these sort of transient areas really sell the ruin. You know, you can't really sneak around an area like this. You know, it's just not a map type that would work for that. But, you know, in every, I guess, hallway between areas, you just get these lava pits and ruined buildings. And the stuff that's held together is the stuff where most of the gameplay takes place. It's a bit scary. Water arrows over there, but don't need to bother with that. I have 15 and I'm not killing orbs. How many broadhead arrows do I have left? 20? Okay. Because those are my noisemaker arrows. I don't have them in this mission, so I'm using broadheads as noisemakers, which is effective to a degree. Alright, so this is kind of funny. You can just jump this and mantle, but I'm pretty far into this run. It's not even a hard jump, but I don't want to do it, and also there's stuff in here that I want to get. So, spoilers, that's actually what this lever is for that I picked up. Yeah, more mages in here. You can hear them, but they're not a threat just yet. It's down here. Lots of goodies. What's this say? From Secretary of Protocol Weitan to Keeper of the Keys Fuquan. It's funny, in this ancient civilization they had... it was customary to write to whom the letter is addressed and from whom it is being... and who is writing it. It is spoken that Va-Turan, that's the new emperor, has closed the Colosseum for reasons other than piety. Yeah, we learned that he said he was closing the Colosseum for a year and a day because he didn't want anyone to be making merry in the time following Va-Turak's death. Anyway, in a year and a day of mourning, Turan may devise a way to make money from the building. As cheering crowds were to his father, is the clink of coins to Turan. To enter the key with Va-Turak is genius. None will touch it. Yet should it serve, it can be lost to grave robbers. Our new master is wily. This humble servant fears for Karath Din. I guess the name of the city is Karath Din. So anyway, that is the letter that tells us that the lever controls the bridge to the Colosseum in a sort of roundabout way. I have to be careful about this. This is very troll. If you round this corner, there's a mage in a pit of lava who will see you. And he's not making noise now. Well, I guess I can hear him humming, but it's very easy to feel like you're safe because there's no patrol, there's no footsteps, and then get completely screwed over by that. very excited to be done with this mission so I don't have to hear these mages again. It's kind of hard to tell when they're alerted, I find. Like, sometimes they have a very aggressive... They'll take a very aggressive tone at times.
Something is amiss.
Even when they're not at all alerted. And just in case. Oh, I just have the one rope arrow left? That ought to do. Not yet. I don't think there's anything over here, but I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, nothing. I think you can put out the sconces for fire arrows, but I will not. Okay, this is a bit of a problem area, but I'm gonna do my best. When the patrol comes in here, he'll turn on the light, and that'll make me visible, which is very... I don't know, I think that's cool.
Is this a vision? Escape while you
Did I
can.
hear a noise?
Wish to be left alone.
It's a hurricane that cannot be outrun.
I don't usually get spotted there, but that's all right. More time to just hang out while we wait, because that's what the series is about. It's about hanging out with your friend
Death
who is
in the darkness.
obsessed with one video game. So I think this location that we're in is meant to be the arena, or at least part of it, because the bridge controls are in here, and also that ramp that we saw leading downwards makes me think of on the other side would be the place where the gladiators and competitors are kind of kept before they emerge into the Colosseum proper. Or maybe that's where the event takes place, is down that ramp. I'm not sure. But I don't think they wanted to build an entire Colosseum, so it's that part has fallen to ruin, and we just have one little section of it. Yeah, this patrol is kind of funky. He kind of will do each section twice and then move on. But we are fortunate to have the benefit of sound, so you know when it is safe to go, even though I can't see anything. Like, it is just amazing how... Like, I think there are so few games where stealth has truly been done well, and I think that one element...
Sweet silence returns.
That one element really does so much. Now, this is what we do with the lever.
Do you hear?
Always
You
leave us
betray yourself.
while you can.
Out at once. You cannot escape the inevitable.
Okay, we're going. I guess they didn't like the sound of the bridge being turned on. Hope it didn't alert our friend. Oh, it did.
The shadows reveal your cowardice, intruder.
Can't even see the rope. Let's try that again, actually.
You cannot escape the inevitable.
Escape while you can.
Oh boy. Some funky AI this time around. It's really given me... It's really testing me on how well I know this mission. This is inconvenient. you can access this building from here, which we're actually going to be doing on our way out, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to be doing that. But we can't leave this way, and it blocks this exit out. So when you're inside, you're very limited in how you can escape. I forget, did we complete our loot objective? I think so. Yes, we did. Great, so we just need one more Keeper Medallion and the Talisman, and then we can get out of here. Just finish exploring up here, and then we can cross the bridge. So I wonder what the purpose of these rooms were. Because this room back here that had the mask in it... Oh, I guess this was the Colosseum. And we were over there looking in here before. I think this was sort of like the... What do they call that? In like sports arenas when you have like the viewing box. I think that's what this was. Maybe this is where the Emperor watched from. Although it would be hard to tell which way the Emperor is pointing his thumb from a place like that.
Did I hear a noise?
I wanted to alert him anyway, so I can do this.
You cannot
Leave
run
us
from your
while you can.
No, I need you to go over
Wind
here,
has
my friend.
deceived me. Come out at once, for I hear your presence.
Really blowing through these
Your
noisemakers.
fate is a hurricane that cannot be outrun.
shadows hold a threat. The darkness will
Just keep
not
going.
protect you for
You're doing
long.
great. All right. I think we're done with mages. For good. We'll be leaving that way. Or at least we're going to cross through that building one more time, but I think I think that's that, which is great. I'm real jazzed about that because I don't like them for a number of reasons. And I don't like that they're in this mission, as I've said. Wonder what this place is supposed to be. Maybe this is just, maybe it's the mezzanine for the Colosseum or something. I don't know. Or it's just like this is where you enter to get up to the bridge. I wonder if there's something up there. I've actually never looked down onto that ledge there. Maybe there's some loot I don't know about. Because, when there's this much... Oh, it's just that. Okay. When there's this much on the line, and some fall damage could mean losing a lot of progress, that's a good time to explore. I think there's... Yes, there's some water arrows. And our other keeper friend will take his medallion. And we'll take these rope arrows as well. That's actually very nice to have for this next bit. And let's read his journal. We had just come upon a tall and sturdy tower, and it was agreed upon that we should deposit the talisman there. The staircase to the top floor had collapsed some time ago, which made ascension difficult. Eric had pointed out the ledge circling the tower, suggesting that one of us place the talisman out there. I laughed at his comment uncaringly. This disturbs me. So we're looking for a tall tower. It's about what we got to work with. This is just we've got a spinal column and a skull there. I wonder what happened to the rest. Oh, this is funny. This is a funny little number.
Creepy.
That's just straight up Cthulhu. Like, no two ways about it. By the way, there's loot in there, but I have to cross lava to get it, and it's only worth 100. I already met my loot objective, and I'm not doing Perfect Thief, which is when you get all the loot, so forget it. But yeah, I guess they were big Lovecraft fans in Karath Din. There's some loot up there that I'm not afraid to grab, though. But we'll just have to say goodbye to that loot. I think that's... There are 2 spots that I know of that contain loot that I will be omitting from this run. How did I get up here again? Oof. And every jump is so scary. Oh my. Okay, we're going. We're going. I really thought you were going the other way, fella. Okay, I think this orb is still in pursuit. This is what we gotta do.
It's a long way down.
That's a recycled voice line from the Bone Horde.
I'd be better off looking for another way around.
That's kind of funny that there's a specific voice line for going that way. Even this is scary. Like it is amazing just how much the threat of death can well, the threat of I guess the weight of death being modified can change the entire feeling of a game. Okay. Yeah, this is some rope nonsense. If it's too close to the wall, it just does not know what to do. I think there's nothing in that chest on Expert, yeah. And this one as well. And here it is. We're in the big tower. That's our fire talisman. And it's cool. This is a spot where it was at the beginning with all those spiders. We can go this way and get a good look at the talisman. And that's one of the places where Garrett will have his line about this is the lost city, it ain't lost no more. That's one of the places where you can hear that line. But I didn't want to do it. Apparently in speedruns, on lower difficulties, because I think when they speedrun, they play on normal. Where are you? Oh, you're like just now giving up, huh? Well, they play on normal, and you can buy speed potions in the shop for this mission on normal. So they do that, and they jump all the way from that ledge through the window and get the talisman, which is absolutely wild. How far out can I go? I don't think they come in by default, only if they're suspicious. But I'm just gonna wait until I don't hear anything. By the way, now that I've grabbed the talismans, the patrols of these fire orbs have thickened. Oh, I wanted to mention this, and maybe I'll showcase it once this run is done. But I was trying to lab out a setup for jumping back without a speed potion, jumping in the reverse direction from the roof of this building to that ledge where you can view the fire talisman. And I have done it, but I really was looking for a consistent setup and just could not find one. Oh, there's full darkness here. Great. If you just round that corner, I'll be safe. Also, you can bunny hop and jump to that as well. To that ledge, but, you know, risk of instant death, not doing it. And that one I can get pretty consistently, and it skips a fair bit, but no way, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's hard to find a good time to go, now that there's so many orbs. Nice. Wow, that was actually a very close call. You didn't see me, did you? No lava there. I think we gotta distract this fire orb to get him to move. I think that's what I did last time, and I don't want to do any more lava jumping, so in practice runs, I'm just going to stick to what I did in practice runs. If the game state is the same, and it will allow me to do what I know how to do, then I'm just going to do it. Nice. Whew. By the way, we just gotta leave. Almost on our way out. Well, we are on our way out, but we're almost out of the woods. And you can tell because my commentary is becoming much more sparse. Alright, here's a jump. Okay. And this is that section we saw with the rubble. But we can, if I'm not incompetent, reach the top and go through that heart-shaped hole.
The sound of an intruder disturbs the air.
Yeah, we gotta do this again. I should have just left the rope arrow in.
You cannot escape. Come out at once, for I hear your presence.
The darkness will not protect you for long.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you are not supposed to be up here. Sorry, that required full focus. Yeah, I'll wait until those footsteps are inaudible. I think maybe if you leave an area, it kind of... No, that's wrong, I think. Yeah, we go this way. I think if you leave an area, the guard states stop updating. So if you leave when an enemy is alerted, if you go far enough away, then when you re-enter, they will still be alerted. Like, they don't calm down when you're far away. Okay, there's an orb here, and I'm going to wait very patiently. Which I guess makes sense, but the map is so huge that it's all interconnected that it's hard to imagine how they... I guess when the loading in and unloading happens, section by section, because it's so interconnected. This part I just have to use my ears. Okay, go, 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 go. Nice. Be very silly to die here. Not gonna tempt fate. Right, there's one here too. What's your deal? I think he sees me. I'm just going. I'm not afraid of you. Now we're back in this square here. I really don't want to mess with this one because I'm going to have to do a jump. I really don't want to get shot at while I'm jumping. If it can be avoided, that is. We are minimizing danger. That's how we have to play this. Oh my goodness. This is our last jump over open lava. At least I believe so. Yeah, and we remember this bit. Let's see what my final loot count is. Also, did I read this? I did not read this. Okay. I'm gonna read this parchment, but we're at 2740, which is great. That is awesome. Fire rains upon us from the sky at the temple of Nalahotep. I think that's a Lovecraft reference, but I could be wrong. 4 hallowed geldings were offered to appease the acrimonious earth. I think acrimonious means angry. At least that would fit, given what we know about the natural disaster occurring here. The sanguine overture has done nothing to pacify her. Also, I learned what a gelding is in preparation for this video, because it came up in Crag's Cleft prison. That was one of the punishments, was gelding for one of the locked up criminals. There was that book that would okay. There was that book that stated what all the criminals' punishments were. We're going up there. Oh no, we're not. Oh, we're here. Okay. Yeah, we're back at the library. Anyway, so a gelding is when you get it's when you get your nuts chopped off. There's no better way of saying it. That is what it means. Oh, that fire is very angry. Where are the stairs up, though? Here they are. Oh, of course, this Burrick. This Burrick wants the business. Wonderful. Alright, we had to use a flash bomb. It's unfortunate, but such is the way of things. And it's better than taking damage. So that's how we're doing it. Well, anyway, so it seems like to appease the gods, the Karath Dîn inhabitants were castrating folks. Because any god that we know and love would want that, clearly. Yeah, here's what I was saying about here's what I was saying about when you leave an area. You know, like I think they were frozen in time from when we were last here, and they're just now returning to their post now that I'm back. Anyway, yeah, so they worship a god with strange and draconian methods. And it's a punishment similar to how the Hammers like to punish their sinners. What's down here? Oh, lava. Should have guessed. I've got nothing to be afraid of, but I want to get out of here no damage. We did it. We are back at the entrance, and it's implied that we swim up there, I guess. Alright, so 57 minutes and 32 seconds. Pretty good, I think. I know that we missed out on, gosh, I think it was 175 in one area. I think we missed out on 275 loot willingly. So that means there's 190 that I just don't know where it is. So, did pretty good, I think. It was enough to complete the mission and then some. No locks to pick down here. Didn't backstab anyone or knock anyone out. And zeros across the board for damage taken, damage dealt, and healing taken. Didn't need to do any of that. And didn't kill anybody. So that means our campaign totals remain at 0 damage dealt and 30 damage received. And we are almost an entire work shift into this campaign. But, I mean, this was episode 9, although I don't think the tutorial counts towards that, but that's still 8 whole missions, and I take plenty of breaks to talk about things and play safely. So we're still averaging under 1 hour per mission, and we're coming up on 20 grand across the campaign. Though, if we get I think we were promised 100,000 gold, or whatever the currency is. We were promised 100,000 upon delivering the eye to Constantine. So, I mean, we're putting up rookie numbers for now, and working towards the big lick. Anywho, thanks for tuning in. This has been a gas, and I appreciate everyone who actually tunes in to watch these. You know, I do it for me mostly, but if anyone manages to glean any enjoyment from this, then that makes me happy. And I'll see you next time when I see you, when the next one is ready. Bye-bye. Alright, so I had setups that involved, like, positioning the camera, like, against this thing and having the light gem line up with that little wooden protrusion. It was a whole thing. And then looking at a specific patch and then doing this. That was a while ago. I don't remember what it was, and it was so inconsistent because your speed can vary a lot based on the timing of your jumps and the alignment of Venus. But when you get it, it's very stylish. Yeah! So that's how you do it, and this is the spot where you can view the talisman. Yeah, I proved that I can do it, so it's fine that I took the coward's way out in the actual playthrough. That's how that works, right?